Good morning, my loves. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, YouTube. Thanks for coming to do some yin with me. Today, we're doing hip, hip, hooray for our hips. Outside, inside, every other side we can get to in our practice this morning. You'll need a couple blocks or stack of books, whatever you can grab onto. A blanket or a pillow, even just a throw pillow off your couch or bed will be just fine. And before we get started, if we've got a blanket this morning, we're already going to just fold it in half lengthwise. The only shape we will need today is our long, skinny rectangle. So, let's find that comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you today. Do rock your weight a little further back into your sitting bones. Lift the center of your chest. Take shoulders up and back and let them settle. Hands are resting wherever it's most comfortable for you. Tucking the chin down teeny weeny tiny bit. Feel free to close your eyes or just softly gazing down and in front. Let's just take a few moments here. Try to settle in. I know it's difficult to practice at home because there's 80,000 things going on. But it's okay because we can always come back to the breath. We can always come back to yin for just a little while longer. From here, go ahead and drop your chin all the way to your chest. Just finding a little bit of stretch along the back of your neck. Make sure your shoulders aren't joining. Keep them rolling back and down. Begin to rock your head gently side to side, staying on the lower part of our imaginary circle. Remember, we don't want to round the back. Sit nice and tall. If you find any little spots that you'd like to hang out on, feel free. This is your time to take any little movements you'd like. So if we're starting to twist a little bit, if we're starting to just kind of wiggle around, finding some happy little movements, now's the chance to get the wiggles out as much as we can. Let's meet up at neutral. Opening your eyes if they're closed. Inhale, bring the gaze forward. And letting it go. Let's find our first yin shape this morning, moving into our butterfly. So grab your blanket or pillow. We're going to slide it underneath tushies. Sit kind of towards the edge of whatever your padding is. We'll take bottoms of the feet together, letting the knees kind of flop off to the sides. Your choice if you'd like to drag heels closer, or for a different part of the hip, maybe we're going to scooch the feet out a little bit. Either way is absolutely perfect. So sitting nice and tall, make sure we rock a little side to side. Let's take a deep breath. And begin to roll down. Wherever that first stopping point for your hips is, stay there. Get to know it. Get comfortable. And let's begin the breathing part. So as we hold, if you're finding that you can go a little further or maybe we need to come back, do it. We want to try to find a place of comfortable intensity where we can wiggle as little as possible. This is about the time brains begin to chatter or wander. That's all right. Finish your grocery list and breathe with me. Round your spine a lot. Inhale, slowly rolling upright, shoulders up and back, and down they go. Find some little wiggles, little shimmies. Make sure hands and wrists are soft. Close your eyes here. Let's just breathe. And let's shift into our second yin posture this morning. I'm rocking my weight back a little bit. I'm taking wide-ish legs. Now, if I have wide legs, I'm going to automatically need to scoop my tushy back on my pillow or blanket just so I don't fall off. Floppy fish feet, bouncy knees. There's no need to hold any tension here before we go in. You'll notice my toes always drop in. That's my hips. If yours do something else, cool. So again, a nice deep breath. And pour yourself down. As we're moving into our dragonfly pose, you might want to find something to rest your forearms on. Maybe we're already down to the floor. Who knows? But do breathe. Remember, darlings, wide is relative. So if you need it closer, if you need it further, just breathe. Let your head be heavy. Let your shoulders be soft. About 4 more deep breaths. Big rounding of your back. Inhale, start to walk yourself upright. Down go your shoulders. Bouncy knees if you like, floppy, floppy feet. Take your shoulders up and back and down. Let's keep chin parallel to the mat and just sit here finding neutral, whatever that is by now. Opening those eyes. Let's find our next little yin shape. So I'm going to scooch my blanket out from under my tush. I'm going to move my blocks to outside of either of my hips. Now for this one, we're going to have to be on knees. So if you have tender knees, if this is horrible, guess what? You can unfold blanket. We won't be here terribly long, so if you don't need it, no big deal. My toes are uncurled. I have the tops of my feet down on the mat. I'm going to start walking my hand stilts back just a little bit. Now from here, roll your shoulders back, really squeezing shoulder blades together. Tuck your chin and then squeeze into your glutes. Big squeeze into glutes, lifting the hips. About 15 breaths here. This is definitely a little more active. So if you need a break, need to reposition, go for it. Remember to keep squeezing your glutes. That's what will protect the backside of your body. Three more deep breaths. Good. Slowly lowering your hips down. I'm going to walk my blocks back with me. I'm going to stay on my knees. If you need to switch to your bum, cool, but I'm just going to wibble wobble my hands, give my wrists a break, fingers moving around. Maybe I need to wiggle other things as well. If you've ever taken any of my classes in person, you know that my favorite thing is wiggling. And let's find our next shape. So I'm going to have my blocks ready. I'm going to go ahead and just sit right on my mat because I want my blanket available for something else. I'm going to come into our square leg shape, also known in Hatha Yoga as Agni Stambhasan, fire logs. So I'm going to start with the right leg down on the mat, and I'm going to shift my leg forward. My shin is somewhat parallel to this long edge of the mat. And from here, use your right hand to scoop up under left ankle. I'm going to go ahead and wrap my left arm around my knee, and I'm hugging close and I'm rocking side to side. Now, don't cheat yourself on the rock so far over that, yes, your left hip moves forward as well. Big loving hug, big swing across the body. And from here, we're going to take that left leg across and plop it down. Now, your legs may not look like mine. Options. You can line up ankles and knees. You can just take your legs further apart. And if this is even horrible, left leg in front of the right. Also, if you really want the ankle here, just give your leg something to rest upon. So let's stay here for just a few moments. Wiggle your hips side to side. Take the shoulders back. And just breathe a few deep breaths. One more inhale. And begin to fold. How far forward you're coming is relative to the leg, to the day, to the practice. It's all good. Once you find again that first stopping point, just hang there, get to know it. And let's hold the first side. There is no need to flex your feet. They can be soft. Just settle in. Try to soften as much as you can. Pleasant intensity. Round your spine a lot. Inhale, coming upright. Down go those shoulders. I'm giving my left leg help to come out to the side. Right can join. Bouncy knees, floppy, floppy fish feet. Just find a little bit of movement. Plop, 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 plop. Couple breaths. And let's build that on our second side. So my left leg is coming down on the mat. My shin is now somewhat parallel to that long edge. Left hand is scooping up under ankle. I am giving myself a good hug and I'm rocking so far that my right hip kind of scooches forward a whole lot. Good loving scoosh, big old rocking across. Next time your foot is over, let's plop that right leg down. Same options. We can line up. We can take padding here or here. You decide. So settle in, get everything nice and stacked. Very first, soft shoulders, soft hands, 2 deep breaths. Long inhale. And melt. Take your time to settle in. Make any adjustments you need. Heavy head. Soft everything. Please remember, my loves, if you're coming further on one side than the other, it's just information. One hip is a little more tight or tired. There's nothing wrong with you, not a thing. Please breathe. Round your spine. Inhale, coming upright. Down go those shoulders. Give your right leg some help. Sort of a whitish V. Bouncy knees. Floppy, floppy fish. Wiggling from side to side. Sit tall. Breathe deep for 5 huge breaths. Opening eyes, let's set up for our next shape. I'm going to turn to the side. You can as well. We're going to be moving into frog. So this one is very intense on inner thighs, those adductors, knee angle and ankle angle, super duper important. So I'm going to keep one knee on my mat, and I'm going to I lied. I'm unfolding my blanket for this one so that my other knee has something to rest on. So I'm going to turn to my left, and I'm going to come into my tabletop shape. So from here, I'm going to shimmy myself toward my blanket. So this is my, let's say this is left. I'm going to take my left knee over on top of my blanket. Both of my toes on feet are turning out to the sides. So the arches of my feet are toward the floor. From here, move your stuff and begin to slide your legs away from one another. My feet are soft, totally fine. My knee is going to stay at as close to a 90-degree angle as I can. And from here, I'm going to lower myself down to forearms. Remember, you do have the option of taking a block under your tum-tum. Make sure shoulders are soft. We're only here. No. Let's see. Take a deep breath and soften. If as you're holding, the intensity gets to be anything other than comfortable, you can scoot your hips forward a little bit. Similarly, if you'd like a little more, you'll scoot your hips in line with your knee. Heavy head. Easy breath. If you've got a block underneath, you go ahead and take it out. To avoid groin strain, we're going to scoot yourselves forward, bring your legs together behind you. I'm going to stack my hands, cheek coming down, and I'm going to shim my hips. From here, bring your hands under your shoulders, very slowly pressing to a child's pose just for a few moments. Good. Gently roll yourself up. I'm going to stay on my knees. I'm going to fold my blanket back to my long skinny rectangle. If you're using a pillow, no big deal. It's not going to change a thing because we're taking our long skinny rectangle or pillow. Behind us, it's facing the short edge of the mat. I'm again going to plop myself down about, sitting bones about to the middle of our blanket. I'm extending my legs. Now, be sure that you're shimmying a little bit. Get all that goodness out of the way. So your choice, if you'd like flexed feet or soft. My habit is just to flex. You don't have to. So let's wiggle our way into caterpillar. This has a little bit of a process. Deep breath. And come down. Inhale, wave up. Exhale, folding down. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And down we settle. Take your time. Shim your shoulders out of the way and tuck that chin. I do hope you can't hear my landscapers, but if you can, make your breath loud enough in your head. That's all you hear. You need those little half lifts and laying down. Nice. We have about 5 more breaths here. Slowly begin to walk your hands about to your knees. Round your spine. Inhale, coming upright. Little flops of feet. Sitting nice and tall. Just move. Find some happy little wiggles, wobbles, whatever works. Then come to a neutral place and take a few deep breaths with me. Bring your gaze forward. Let's find the last kind of shape we'll take. Go ahead, scoot your blanket or pillow out of the way. We won't necessarily need blocks. I'm turning to face your right, and then I'm rolling my way back down onto my back. Arms are your choice. You can take them wide in a T or maybe in goddess. Knees are bent to the ceiling. Let's go ahead, walk our feet mat distance at least. A nice deep breath in. And knees to knee. Keep your feet wide. Let your right hip lift up. That's okay. You can turn your head if you like. You can take your left ankle on top of right knee. Just try not to press. Let your breath and gravity do the work. Allow for those little adjustments. And then settle back in. Uncrossing if you did so. Gently bring both knees up to the ceiling. Shimmy how you need. Let's gently guide knees into chest or tummy. Little wibble wobbles from side to side. Back to neutral. Bottoms of your feet to your mat. Mat distance. Same idea with the arms wide in a T or goddess. Nice deep breath in. Knees to the other side. You can turn your head. You can take the cross. Remember, you're not broken if you don't cross on both sides. It's literally just an option. Do breathe. And do soften. Uncrossing if you did. Gently bring knees and nose up to center. Knees are coming into the chest or tummy. Little wobble side to side. Coming back to neutral. We're letting our feet drop down and then find those diamond-shaped legs, that butterfly. Bottoms of the feet together. Knees are flopping to the sides. You can bring palms to tummy, heart and tummy out to the side, whatever works for you. Make sure your chin isn't higher than your forehead. Tuck it down a tiny bit. Let's stay here for a few moments and breathe. You'll have to excuse me though. I'm gonna sit up. As we prepare to go into our final relaxation, I always like to offer just a very short breath meditation. But remember, if that's not your thing, feel free to sit it out. For our breath today, we'll find our samavriti, breath of equal measure. We'll inhale to my count of 6. Exhale to my same count of 6, trying to help the breath last to 6 in each direction. And we begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release the technique, just breathe. And beginning now to find your way into your shape for final relaxation. You can stay here. You can extend legs, roll to your side, roll to your tummy. Find a shape that comforts and a shape that supports. Once you arrive in this pose for our last moments of stillness, begin to let go from the crown of the head to the soles of the feet. Release muscles of the face. Eyes are soft and snuggle back in their little beds. Teeth have separated. Perhaps the lips will part. Root of the tongue and throat are soft. Chest, shoulders, arms, and hands become light. A deep breath enters the belly, and exhaling, the navel falls to the spine. Hips, legs, knees, and feet release into the earth. So comfortable, so at ease, and very, very safe here in Shavasana. Beginning now to deepen your breath. Fingers and toes find wiggles. Wrists and ankles take circles. Reach your hands high overhead and stretch from fingertips to toe tips. Roll over to your right side. Find the shape of safe little ball for just a few more moments. Asatoma sat gamaya, tamasoma jyotir gamaya, vrityarma amritam gamaya. Om asatoma sat gamaya, tamasoma jyotir gamaya, vrityarma amritam gamaya. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Keeping eyes closed as much as you can. Gently press your way up and find that most comfortable seat. Hands coming to rest lightly. Sitting tall, shoulders line up over hips. Eyes and face still soft. Receive a deep inhale. And let go. Thank you, my loves. Thank you for joining me this morning for our beautiful, recuperative, loving practice today. That chant, the Asatoma, is when we sing to our teachers to thank them for all the gifts of knowledge that they give, and the Shanti. Shanti is peace the whole world receives. And so to you, my teachers, peace be unto you all the days you walk this earth. Until we meet again, namaste. Thank you, my sweet souls. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Take good care of yourself. Drink your water, and I will see you next time. Be loved.